We'll get right to that breaking news. Brand new information out tonight about that video that's been shown all over the country that shows a defendant in court attacking a local judge during his sentencing hearing. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Snyder.
And I'm Latoya Silman. Chief Judge Jerry Weiss holding a news conference just hours ago, and he revealed that Judge Mary Kay Holthus, her marshal, and law clerk all received medical attention yesterday after Deobra read and jumped up and then attacked them. All three of them have been released, but the marshal and law clerk are still recovering from their injuries. Judge Holthus was back at work today. Since the scary incident, Chief Judge Weiss says safety is top of mind.
Our whole goal is to maintain the public trust and confidence in the court system and let people know that it is a safe place to be, and this is not going to happen again. We're taking whatever steps that we can to make sure that something like this doesn't happen in the future.
Redden was given new charges, new felonies he'll face for this attack on the judge, but he refused to return to court this morning for the initial appearance. Chief Judge Weiss, who you just heard about, says that they still plan to hand down his original sentence by the original judge, who, by the way, was back at work today. That will happen next week.
While court administrators work on how to prevent future attacks, one former prosecutor believes it comes down to better training.
And he speaks from experience. News 3's Operation Crime and Justice reporter Denise Roche is live at the Regional Justice Center. And Denise, they're talking about a guy who was hospitalized after he was jumped by a defendant.
Yeah, Jim, and there is no question that courtroom attacks are relatively rare, but when they happen, they are dramatic and they are frightening. And former prosecutor David Stanton tells me that he believes changes must be made before someone is killed.
I was prosecuting a guy by the name of Taiwan Allen for murder. The jury had just come back in and convicted him of first-degree murder.
David Stanton says it all happened so quickly.
I turned to my co-counsel to talk about the sentencing the next day, and the next thing you know, I feel someone on my back, and then I lose consciousness, and then the next thing, I'm in the middle of the floor in a big rugby pile. And he had apparently jumped on my back and clobbered me in the head a couple times.
Diagnosed with a concussion, Stanton was wheeled out of the Clark County Courthouse on a stretcher. Here's Stanton's co-counsel, Vicki Monroe.
They were all over Mr. Allen and took him down and got him out of the courtroom. He was fighting, yelling on his way out.
That was in 2003. 20 years later, Stanton says what happened Wednesday to Judge Mary Kay Holthus is unfortunately not that surprising. He hopes it leads to new safety protocols and improved training for marshals and staff.
I don't think we should wait till someone is killed or seriously injured before that happens. We have enough history here in Clark County to know, hey, it happens, and let's do what we can to prevent it.
And here's another example from 2018.
This individual is extremely violent, and he's a ticking time bomb.
Accused child abuser Terhan Woods, described as a ticking time bomb, explodes in a Las Vegas courtroom, going after prosecutors before he too is tackled and subdued.
There was a case that I had up in Washoe County when there was a verdict that came in that everybody was shocked that he was convicted of murder, and the place looked like a Jerry Springer show. I mean, people were throwing things.
And that's why he believes certain hearings deserve better planning. From verdicts to sentencings, even victim impact testimony can be highly emotional.
The people that are responsible for the security of the courtroom need to be extremely aware of the people in the courtroom, the temperature of the courtroom, the temperature of the proceedings.
And Stanton speaks from experience, hoping no other courtroom employee sees themselves on the evening news.
So my glory was seeing my sorry butt being hauled out of the courthouse on a stretcher.
Now, that man who attacked Stanton was sentenced to life in prison on the original murder charge. He was also then convicted of battery on Stanton. He remains locked up at Ely State Prison.
Just click below and subscribe to News 3. You'll get more stories that affect your community.